In the 1970s, the NBA struggles to stay in the spotlight. Television ratings drop, arenas sit half empty. Some games barely draw 2,000 fans. The league, once on the rise, finds itself overshadowed by scandals, a rival league, and uncertainty. Through all of that, certain players shine, and not just the household names. Beneath the surface, legends rise, dominate, and quietly fade into history. These are the players the league couldn't have survived without, but few fans remember today. Let's start with Bob Dandridge. Playing alongside stars like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Oscar Robertson in Milwaukee, Dandridge becomes the silent force. He scores over 18 points per game across the decade and plays lockdown defense on the perimeter. In both the 1971 and 1978 NBA Finals, he leads his team in scoring. Yet somehow, when people talk about championship rosters, his name rarely comes up. Then there's Connie Hawkins, the high-flying forward whose prime gets stolen. After being wrongly linked to a college gambling scandal, he spends his best years outside the NBA. By the time he finally joins the league in 1969, he's already 27. Still, in his first season, he averages 24.6 points and 10 rebounds for the Suns. He makes the All-NBA first team. But by the mid-70s, injuries slow him down, and the NBA quietly moves on. Spencer Haywood changes the league forever. In 1970, he challenges the NBA's rule requiring players to wait 4 years after high school before going pro. He wins in court. Because of him, players like Kobe, LeBron, and Kevin Garnett later enter the league straight out of high school. On the court, Haywood dominates, averaging over 20 points and 10 rebounds for much of the decade. But his contributions to player rights are even bigger. Sidney Wicks is another star lost in time. A UCLA standout, he joins the Portland Trail Blazers and immediately takes over. He wins Rookie of the Year in 1972 after averaging 24.5 points and 11.5 rebounds. He makes 4 All-Star teams in his first 5 seasons. But Portland trades him away just as the team starts building toward its title run. His stats fade, and so does the memory of how dominant he was early on. World B. Free earns a spot here not just for his name, but for his game. With a smooth jump shot and fearless drives, he averages over 20 points per game across the late 70s and early 80s. In 1979, he drops 30 points per game for the San Diego Clippers, a number rarely seen before the three-point era. Fans loved him. But he played for struggling teams, and history didn't keep up. Then we have Archie Clark, the guard who brings style before it's trendy. Nicknamed Shake and Bake, Clark is one of the first to popularize the crossover dribble. He averages nearly 17 points and 5 assists per game over his career, with 2 All-Star selections. In 1971, he helps the Bullets reach the NBA Finals. Yet today, barely anyone remembers his impact on guard play. Chet Walker is the steady scorer people forget. He wins a title with the Sixers in 1967, but his real prime comes in the early 70s with the Chicago Bulls. From 1970 to 1973, he averages 22 points per game while shooting over 48% from the field, elite numbers in a slower-paced era. He helps Chicago become a perennial playoff team, but he never gets the spotlight. Doug Collins, now better known as a coach and broadcaster, was once a scoring machine. Before injuries cut his career short, he averages over 20 points per game for the Philadelphia 76ers. In 1977, he helps lead the Sixers to the finals alongside Julius Erving. Collins plays smart, efficient basketball, but constant foot injuries end his run before it fully peaks. Paul Westphal brings both flash and intelligence. With the Phoenix Suns, he becomes the engine of their offense. He scores, facilitates, and leads the team to the unforgettable triple overtime Game 5 in the 1976 Finals. In that series, he averages 21 points and 5 assists per game. Westphal makes 5 All-Star teams, but since he doesn't win a title, he rarely makes the cut on all-time lists. Elvin Hayes gets mentioned now and then, but not nearly enough. Over the 1970s, he scores more points than anyone else, more than Kareem, more than Dr. J. He also leads the league in minutes played 7 times. In 1978, he finally gets his championship with the Washington Bullets, anchoring their defense and scoring when it matters. But because he wasn't flashy and clashed with the media, he's often left out of GOAT conversations. Gus Williams emerges late in the decade. By 1979, he's the lead guard for the Seattle Supersonics, helping them win their only NBA title. He averages over 28 points in that finals series. His speed, handle, and pull-up jumper are way ahead of his time. But because his prime spans just a few years before fading into the 80s, he's often forgotten. So why do we forget these players? Part of it is timing. The NBA isn't a global brand yet. Games aren't broadcast widely. Stats aren't posted online. If you didn't live in their market or read the local paper, you probably never saw them play. Part of it is marketing. Players who win titles in big markets or who play alongside bigger stars stay in the spotlight. The quiet scorers, the overlooked defenders, the pioneers who fought lawsuits or injuries, they're left in the margins, but these men shaped the league. They filled stadiums when attendance was falling. They played through pain, pushed boundaries, and helped the NBA survive its toughest decade. We remember the 70s for what it lacked: big ratings, crossover appeal, stable franchises. But it had legends. They just didn't stick around in highlight reels. If you enjoyed this, I'm going to be posting a lot here. I would greatly appreciate it if you could subscribe. Thanks for watching.